We interrupt this transmission to bring you the following live broadcast.
It's Wednesday. It's 6 p.m. It's the ThinkSoJoe Show. I killed the music too soon.
I'm not going to laugh this time.
Oh, fine. Be that way. Be that way. Be that way. Well, not really much to laugh about, huh?
Yeah. It's Wednesday, it's the middle of the week. It's been a rough week.
Yeah.
We lost another one.
Yeah. Lost one of the good ones. Of course, we lost our dear friend Greg Rinker yesterday. Best sound guy in all of Western New York. And this is not a slight on any other sound guy, but we were booking at a venue for a while. And for a while, we were getting the venue for free, and we were getting kickback from the bar as well as 100% of the door. They changed their policy, and we had to start paying the sound guy. And the sound guy wanted basically half of what Greg was charging at Evening Star. And I said, well, I'm not going to give this guy half of what Greg charges until he's half as good as Greg is. And unfortunately, yeah, we lost Greg, and we're waiting to hear about funeral wake and all that, and hopefully we'll I guess we'll see everybody there, I'm sure, because the whole of the WNY music community kind of came out and shared their thoughts, and even if they didn't know Greg, they knew of Greg, and Greg had made them at one point or another sound great on that Evening Star stage, and yeah, we're gonna miss him. It's not like anytime I walked into Evening Star, I felt at home as soon as I walked in the door because Greg knew who I was, and don't do that. You're gonna make me do that. Greg knew who I was, and Greg made me feel right at home, and we weren't nearly as close as a lot of you guys that are probably listening to this were with him, he always made me feel at home, and he always made me feel welcome. And we're gonna play some bands aside from the first one we're playing today that I have a memory of with Greg, or who really shared some powerful memories of Greg. And we don't want to make this show too much of a down note. We just wanted to kind of dedicate this episode to him, and let you know, hey, we understand, we're with you, and we're gonna miss him too, Seriously, don't do that. I know you. Anything. I know you're not doing. You're not doing anything. All right. So 5 seconds before we got on the air, Corina knocked over her windscreen. I had to quickly attach it, and then as soon as I looked at the clock, oh crap, it's 6, we gotta get on the air. But Warped Tour ended on Sunday too. It was the last Warped Tour. The last song played at Warped Tour was Pennywise Bro Hymn.
I know. I meant to sit down and find a video of that.
I'm sure it's there. You got to be much closer than you are. I'm gonna move the mic.
Yeah, I meant to find a video of that. I really want to see it and just listen to the song with that mindset.
I'm just gonna turn your mic up.
Okay.
They apparently they just kept playing, and the fans kept singing while they tore the stage down around them. Man, we're starting this show off on a very happy note, aren't we? Jeez. It's my daughter's birthday was this week. We had fun. Yeah. We had fun yesterday. We went to the mall. We went to Dave & Buster's. We spent a shit ton of money, but hey, it was worth it. The kid was very. She
had a good time. It seemed like
it did. She was very happy. She enjoyed herself. I texted her uncle. I said, "Hey, you're gonna be proud of your niece. I gave her $100 budget at the mall, and the first thing she wanted to do was go to GameStop." He says, "Oh, it depends what she bought."
Right.
Just told her what she bought, and he was like, "She has a Switch?" Yeah, she bought it for herself, dude. She got one before I did. So that's pretty cool, good for her. Yeah. She got something I want before I did, because I'm just I'm gonna buy all this shit that I'm just gonna keep in a box for a month. Like that screen printing machine we got out there. I've been busy since we got it.
You've been very busy, and we need another design to print.
Oh, we've got to.
We have to have a reason to print a design. We can think of a million things we want on a T-shirt.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're still doing that first run of ThinkSoJoe T-shirts.
Yes.
If anybody wants those with the all WNY buffalo on it, we're going to probably do a small run of ThinkSoJoe Show logo, skull logo T-shirts. If you're on the 716 bands, or if you've seen the more accurately, if you've seen the banner that we got, that's we're gonna put that on a T-shirt probably. Cool. We're gonna have that. That'll be a little bit better done than the ThinkSoJoe Show. The current run of ThinkSoJoe Show.
Perfect.
And also we have a machine now to do multiple colors.
Be a game changer.
So yeah. We will be selling probably the original ThinkSoJoe Show T-shirts at Yellow Sauce CD release at the end of the month. # Sauce Month.
Well, we also have, I don't know if they'll be ready by then, but we were talking about possibly broadcasting at Punks in the Yard at the end of the month. That's a very real possibility. Sure, we can.
Well, I mean, it makes more sense for us to have T-shirts while we're broadcasting. We didn't at Warped Tour.
Yeah, it would be nice if
Ryan
not to sell for prizes here and there, you know.
Yeah, we had Struggle is Real T-shirts, and we had Voice of Dissent T-shirts we were giving out, but we didn't have ThinkSoJoe T-shirts. We had stickers, but nobody was taking them.
The stickers that look like business cards.
People thought they were business cards, and they're not waterproof. Yeah, but I think people thought they were business cards, and I think that's why they weren't taking them.
I shouldn't be drinking Pepsi. I'm getting a little gassy here.
I have not yet opened my Pepsi.
I know. I realized that when the music started. I was like, oh, he's going to have to open it on the...
Wouldn't be the first time. So I've been very, very, very busy, especially over the last few days, and I haven't slept much. I got like 2 hours of sleep, like 3 hours of sleep the other day before I went to get my daughter, and then... After she left, I got like 4 hours of sleep. And then I got up and I'm like, okay, time to finish this job. I had this really big job, and I've got one guy like, hey, can you deliver this job early? I'm like, dude, probably not. I will try, but I'm not promising you anything. And like 3 hours before his job was due, he wanted it 24 hours before it was due. 3 hours before his job's due, he's messaging me, and I'm like ignoring him because I'm still working on this other job. And I finished the other job, and I finally, did that guy's job, sent it to him. I said, man, listen, I'm really sorry I didn't get that to you in the time frame you wanted. It was just, it was not happening.
Right.
Like, I just did not have the time to do it. I'm sorry, man. Like, and I haven't heard back from the guy, so I don't know if he was, like, mad about it or anything. I hope he was able to get his job that he was working on done on time.
Oh, yeah.
But, if you... Here's the thing. If you're ordering something that you need to finish your job, make sure you... and the option is there to get it when you want it by paying, like, a very small fee extra. maybe pay the small fee. Order the 1 day shipping for $5 instead of waiting for the 2 day shipping for free.
Right.
I feel bad for the guy if he didn't get his job done in time, but that's not my fault that he only.
Hopefully he left himself enough of a cushion that.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, why not? At Lady Laura Moore, who's offering me a birthday crate. I'm interested to see what it is. She has sent things here before, so
right.
So
that's interesting.
She sent me a package from one of the Impact Wrestling Knockouts, right? And I had never heard of this woman before until I got this package. And I actually, we will occasionally go to sleep watching the Impact Wrestling channel on Pluto TV, because that is a wonderful cure for insomnia. Especially when they're showing like the Aces and Eights era stuff, like from like 5 or 6, 7 years ago. That's wonderful stuff to fall asleep to. And I caught a more recent episode, and the woman that she sent me the care package from was on that.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay, that's who that is. But yes, Yeah, so it's been a pretty crazy, hectic week schedule-wise for me, and I finally finished that job and finished the 5 jobs that were due around it, and was like, fuck this, I'm going to sleep. So I'm rested. I got sleep today.
Yeah, I let you rest, even. I stopped my cleaning and puttering in the back of the house so that you could sleep.
And tonight, I've got options. You know, I like to watch movies on my projector to unwind at the end of the day, and
Right.
I've got options today. I can continue watching the View Askew movies because I have 2 more of those to watch, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and Clerks 2. I've watched all the rest of the View Askew movies. Got approval from Kevin Smith on Twitter.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. He liked my tweet that I had watched 4 Kevin Smith movies in the span of 24 hours on my 100-inch screen. So I have that option. I've also got Deadpool 2. Just came out yesterday.
Yeah.
We own that. That's in my collection, and I have not had time to sit down and watch. Of course, we saw it in theaters.
Right.
So it's not necessary for me to watch. Of course, it's not necessary for me to watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, because I've watched that recently, too. Yes, I also got the cable to hook my Raspberry Pi back up, so I can play all my retro games.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. You will probably walk out of the room and see me playing Super Mario Brothers at some point tonight. Not that I couldn't do that anyway, because the Genesis, we have the Mark's on. Mark's messaging us.
Hi, Mark.
So this guy wearing a jockstrap.
I like
here.
his panties.
It's
jockstrap, whatever it is.
Yes. That's not a bad. It's not a badass.
No, that's.
No, it's certainly not.
It's a good one.
Inherent
Good
Vice
job.
tagged me in a post. I'm catching up on my Facebook here, and my mom shared the post that we just shared about the puppies.
Yeah, and you still have the dead puppy on the screen.
Oh,
It's kind of
I'm
bumming me
sorry.
out.
Yeah, I know.
It's just a happy fucking show, guys.
Yeah, right. Inherent Vice tagged me in a post. They said, I know what's up, because prior to this show, I was listening to all WNY radio and enjoying some of the local music, and also really bumming myself out because some of the bands that I'm like, oh man, this band is really good, and it's like, I look them up and they're like, shit, they don't play shows anymore. Like the Beggar's Best had a really good show, a really good song that was played earlier. I think it was called Promises, and I'm like, this is really good. The lyrics are really good. The song is really good. The music is really good. Like, let me look these guys up. Like, yeah, they don't play shows anymore. And then there was another band that we were listening to. I don't remember the name of them. We just listened to them a few minutes ago, but it was like, I looked them up, and they haven't existed since like 2014. It's
Oh my
man.
gosh.
But one of the songs that did come on was Atmosphere by Inherent Vice, our dear friends.
Yeah.
And wow, that's it was great to hear that song. And as soon as I heard the song, it was like, as soon as I heard that bass line, it's like, oh yeah, I know this. So yeah, we got to hear some Inherent Vice beforehand. There's a trilogy. Those
I feel like they're different ages, and that makes this picture illegal.
I feel like, yes, I don't feel like
I don't feel like looking at that on the internet.
I am gonna delete this out of my inbox just because I don't feel that that's legal. Yeah, I'm deleting that out of my inbox there. Like, I don't feel those were old enough. They may have been, and I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like, legally, like, I don't know. That's a whole. We're not getting into the legalities of.
No,
yeah.
we don't need the
the
little boy bots on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
So we had to pick between Psycho Stick and the Headstones. And
Yes.
I'm very disappointed I don't have money for Psycho Stick.
I know.
As much as I love the Headstones and I'm really looking forward to seeing them tomorrow, I would have loved to see Psycho Stick. Their new album is out. It's called Do. And if you haven't heard it yet, and I know this is a local music podcast and this isn't a local band I'm plugging, but go check out the new Psycho Stick album, Do. I really love it, especially the song about Blockbuster Video. It's really he says they're of age. He doesn't do that.
Thank
All
goodness.
I'm trusting you. But they looked really, they looked, not really like, not like kids.
Listen, they looked like we had to look twice to see if they were old enough, and that's all that matters.
We trust that you don't do that. We trust that you know what,
standing, like, smallest to largest,
Mark
as they were.
Yeah, Mark is an upstanding citizen. Mark does not have underage male asses.
Well, then they were in college.
But they definitely looked on the younger side there, so.
Yeah.
Lady Laura Moore gives him a 1 out of 10. She can't even see him. She also told me you don't mess with the aces and eights. That was the wrestling faction that I said was the era of Impact Wrestling that put you to sleep. So. Yeah. Anyway, so I got a thing on Facebook. It says you might be in this photo, right? Let me show you the photo. It's this photo here that you shared, but the screenshot has my picture in it.
Yep, you are in that photo.
So technically, I am in this photo, but I don't want to like tag myself in this photo because it's not the intent of the photo.
It's okay.
So it's ignore. I'm not going to say it's not me. I'm going to say ignore because it certainly is me. It's just not the intent of the photo that you're trying to get across there. So,
the photo was about banana anus.
Here is another option for me to watch tonight because
that's a default option.
16 years ago, and we referenced this earlier when we were laying in bed and I was looking across at the DVD collection and I said, I see Adam Sandler 3 times. Yeah. And one of those times was on Airheads, which was released 24 years ago yesterday.
Really? It says October. Go back up.
Where does it say October? It does not say October.
I can't really see from over here.
Never
mind. It says
August 7th. Yeah.
I can't. My eyes are...
Meanwhile, a great prize awaits at the end of #Sauce Month.
#Sauce Month.
The Ballad of Bob Paul from our dear friends Yellow Sauce.
I'm really excited.
August 31st at Stamps. The music's going to start at 9 p.m. It's going to be a great night. It's going to be fun. You can get your copy of The Ballad of Bob Paul, which may or may not feature me. And also, you can pick up those great Yellow Sauce t-shirts.
Oh my gosh, those t-shirts are so nice.
I was the first public picture wearing a Yellow Sauce t-shirt, you know, because they hadn't released that they had them yet. And you posted that picture of me.
Damn it, I do these things.
So I was the first public picture wearing a Yellow Sauce t-shirt. I did not destroy the toys. They are in. I think they're in my storage bin here.
Oh.
He
does have a whole huge bin full of toys.
I still have them. I still have to go through this bin. I have to figure out. I'm keeping what she sent me because they're little minifigures. They're great.
Oh, it's not like they take up a ton of
room. They don't. They're nice. They could go up along the top of the shelf, the top of the doors here.
Yeah,
would be perfect.
Cool.
But I've got to figure out what I have to sell and what I'm keeping, and you know, there's a lot of action figures and not a lot of room. So
yeah. That will happen. And
I keep going places where I keep seeing these action figures, and I'm like, oh man, I want that, but I don't have a place for it. Like I sent a Rowdy Roddy Piper action figure and a Rick Rude action figure to my buddy up in Canada, and I got the and I'm like, I was there, and I'm like, I want this Rick Rude. I want this Brian Kendrick figure. I'm like, but man, I don't have a place for them.
Right.
I wanted that Roddy Piper too, but I didn't have a place for it.
Well, if you took it out of the box, you could figure out a place for it.
Yeah, but
like, who takes them out of the? You have some out of the boxes.
So this is what I found out, and it tripped me out when I found out is that collectors don't keep them in boxes.
Really?
Yeah, I found this out. There was an action figure back when Jax was still making the WWE action figures. Here, excuse me. Here's my dorky part of the show here.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you're gonna see my dorky side. Back when Jax was making the WWE action figures, they released a a Ringside Collectibles exclusive of one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Edge. And this Edge action figure came with the Rated R spinner belt, which was the parody of John Cena's custom WWE title belt. It was actually John Cena's belt with the Rated R spinner, Rated R star in the middle. But I wanted it because like that is like the epitome of Edge right there, and I wanted it, and I was gonna buy two. Mm-hmm. And collectors were like, "Why are you gonna buy two?" I said, "One to keep in the package and one to take out of the package." And they said, "Just buy one, take it out of the package." No, collectors don't give a shit. Like, really? I said, yeah. I said, that's weird. They're like, yeah, we're just gonna put them on a display anyway and pose them how we like. And like, are you serious? Like, I did not realize that collectors took these things out of the box, because usually if you're looking at like a price guide, right?
True.
You'll see like for example, there's a price guide on our shelf.
For the baseball cards?
From years and years ago. Actually, that's not the reference I wanted to make. There was actually, I had a toy one. I don't have that anymore, but I had a toy one. And there was this WWF, LJN, no, it wasn't LJN. It was the, whatever the plastic ones were those Hasbro? I don't know, whatever. But the little plastic, like, spring-loaded runs, right? And they had a Razor Ramon figure that was a Hills exclusive.
Oh, wow.
And if you had it on the card, it was $400, but if you had it off the card, it was like $25. Guess who had that figure off the card? Because of course, when I used to buy those action figures, I was that young where I was still playing with them in the spring-loaded action. Well, no, not even the spring. Like, this was back when you had like the one-piece mold for the canvas, and then like the spring-loaded ropes. Now you got the spring-loaded, mat and all that shit. But it was Mattel that made the Brian Kendrick action figure, Laura. It was part of their Elite series. Great-looking figure too. I wish I would have had space for it, because I would have bought. But yeah, collectors don't keep them in the boxes, and that's weird to me.
And now you know.
But one of my Randy Savage action figures, if you go and look for it on eBay and you find it out of the box, it's going for like $50. Mm. If you find it in the box, it's going for like $150.
I just don't understand. Like, I understand that these toys are worth a lot of money because, they're collectibles and like popular, nostalgic and everything. But like, that's a lot of money.
But the thing is,
the $50 is a lot of money to me.
Well, but here's the thing: is I would never part with this Randy Savage action figure, right? And I think that's probably why the value has gone up. It is the when Mattel took over the WWE toy license, they struck a deal with Randy Savage, who hadn't been in any kind of WWE product in probably a decade at this point. And he did like this whole, introduction thing at Comic-Con where it's like, "Ooh, yeah, the Macho Man is back," and whatever, so his action figures from Mattel were like the first Randy Savage action figures from WWE in forever. And I have the first two, which is there's an Elite series Randy Savage where he's just got the orange tights and the orange bandana and all that. And there's this it's called Defining Moments. It's Randy Savage from WrestleMania 7 in the jacket and the hat and like the tassels and all this, and just this incredible looking figure. And that's the one that's going for like $150. And you got to figure, like, people who bought this aren't, like, they're collectors and they aren't willing to part with this particular figure. So if you see it on eBay, it's a steal to get it for $150, really.
Yeah.
Because I know personally that
still is a lot of money, though.
Out of all of the action figures I have, regardless of what they're worth, that is the one. That is the one where it's like, this is not going anywhere. Like, I might be convinced to part with other Randy Savage action figures. It's not likely. But that one is not going anywhere. I got a Macho Man Randy Savage bandana and sunglasses.
I know.
Now I need to buy the robe.
I know.
And so that way, when we do the Halloween show in October, I know what I know what I'm wearing. The only thing is, I don't like the glasses, because the glasses, there's like this one like blind spot like right in the middle, and I know I had mentioned that to you, and you were like, oh well, I never wore them, like, so I will hand them to you after the show, and you can try them on, and you can see what I'm talking about. Where
but
this blind
I'm
spot
wearing my
right
glasses, so I won't be able to see anything anyways.
Right, this is fair. Yes, I do keep saying here's the thing over and over again. It's not like Scott's using it. Oh, did I say that? Anyway. Yeah. All WNY, where we love each other to death but make fun of each other relentlessly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you listen to The Struggle Is Real and you listen to Ryan never gets my name right. And that's because I at one point forgot his name. I was sitting here and like, oh, the guys from The Struggle Is Real, and I knew his now former co-host's name, and I'm like, oh, why can't I think of the other guy's name? And then I, like, after the fact, like, sent him an apology on Facebook. Like, I'd like to publicly apologize to Ryan Gurnett for forgetting his name on my podcast. Just complete brain fart.
Yeah.
And so he comes up with fake names for me every episode of The Struggle Is Real.
That's really cute.
Yeah. And of course, you know, Ryan and his wife are some of our best friends. We love spending some time with them. We got to do that last week.
Yeah.
We went and saw The Descendants with them.
That was really fun. Like, that was an amazing show.
I don't want to steal Ryan's thunder, because I know he's working on a segment about this very subject of concert etiquette, which we've talked about at length before, and so I don't want to get into a full thing about this, but this woman, by the end of the night, like, we're all sitting together at a table.
This was not even the end of the night. This was as the Descendants started.
Right when the Descendants were about to start. We're sitting at this table when we had been there all night.
Yep, we had to get there early so that we could have a seat.
And they let us in first because we needed the handicap accessible seating. So we sat at this table right behind the soundboard all night. And
great spot.
Oh yeah, it was great. Except I had like an old guy partly in my way. Like I could see half the stage, and that was good enough for me.
He was a skinny old guy. It's not like it was, you know.
Oh no, he wasn't like completely blocking my view or anything. He was fine. This woman at the end of the like towards the right when the Descendants were about to start comes over. She bumps into me, right, and then she puts her hand on the back of my head and she leans in and she goes, "I'm sorry, baby," and then proceeds to move the chair that is between me and the guardrail so that she can stand in that spot. And I said, and you know, I'm not one to usually complain about people being in my way at shows, because, hey, people can't help if they're tall or whatever, but this was just ignorance, right? Because I'm sitting down and this woman's standing in front. So I said, you realize you are directly in my way. And she turned around and she goes, what? And her boyfriend comes over. I assume it was her boyfriend. Grabs her by the arm, like, we gotta go this way.
Yep.
Like pulls her out of the way.
Stand not here.
Yeah, so I kind of like moved the chair back, like after he got her out of there, moved the chair back between me and the guardrail and put my feet up, like, on the lower bar of it, you know, like, just to kind of like, you know, establish that, hey, this is my line of sight, you know, like, but and then next thing I know, like, she was moved over, like, to the other side of the two old guys. Yeah. And was like grinding up on the one old guy. And he's like looking at his buddy, and he's like kind of doing these things, like, you know, like tapping him on the arm and pointing, like, look at it, like, you know, whispering in his ear, like, hey, this chick's all over me, you know?
Oh my
like,
gosh.
Or whatever, but like, if you can't handle your fucking liquor, stay the fuck home.
Or don't drink. You can do that too.
I mean, who has a good time without drinking? Oh, wait, I do.
I didn't think that I would say this, but I do. My God, you should have seen me last summer. I was drunk most of the summer.
Yeah.
And
I know, because
I had a great time.
I know, because you would text me and tell me.
I would text you when I was still shit-faced at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and you were like still at work and stuff. Aw.
And you would tell me all about what you had been doing, and it's just like, maybe you shouldn't be doing that, but, you know.
It's all better now.
Yeah, you've definitely shaped up and cleaned up, and You're definitely it's I'm proud of you.
It's whatever.
It's whatever. After she just says, I have a good time when I go out and don't drink.
Well, I don't throw up.
This is true.
Like, I used to puke a lot.
Let's get into some music. This is a band I saw. This is a band I saw a couple of weeks ago at the Long Cold Dark 10th anniversary show, and I wanted to play them last week, and I completely forgot. But then today I was like, oh, you know what? Let me remember to play these guys.
Yeah.
And these are young dudes. Like I'm pretty sure they're older than we thought that the kids in those pictures looked. But but like I said, I'm sure they were at least 18. I'm sure it was fine. But they didn't. They looked young, which is a compliment to them, I'm sure.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway,
they looked like they didn't have pubes yet. No big deal.
Anyway, these guys, they're young,
but they have pubes.
They're young, they're good, and they're only going to get better. Which is what I hate about bands like Scathed and the Scarecrow Show. Like, how are you guys like a decade younger than me, or a decade and a half younger than me in some cases, and like you're far more talented than I will ever be at anything ever in my life.
Yeah.
Like, and this is one of those bands, and this is a local Western New York band here. They're from Buffalo, called Nuclear Winter, and this song is called Hymn on All WNY Radio. ThinkSoJoe Show. Clear Winter, all WNY, ThinkSoJoe Show.
That's a cool name for a band.
And they're also a really good band, so
it
works.
Yeah. I bet they would be really cool to see play, like, to actually go to their show. I'm kind of jealous that I didn't go.
I walked in the door. I came late. I missed a couple of great acts. I don't even remember who the first one was, but I know Danimal Cannon played. And they're the band that does the like 8-bit like Nintendo music.
Oh, sweet.
And so like I missed them. I walked in the door. I talked to Mike Dietz for a little while, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you know, this next band, they're young, but they're really good." And sure enough, they went up and they were just amazing. Like, holy crap, these guys are really good. I was talking to Nick from the Dreadnecks pretty much through their whole set, but we were kind of like headbanging while we were talking. So
right.
It was good to see Nick, and I'm hoping his finger heals up really well. Yeah, that's
brutal.
Oh yeah, no, he.
Of course, he's gonna post pictures of it on Facebook and shit too.
Of course, no, he'll be fine. He's gonna be all right soon.
Yeah,
so,
I've heard that he's played through worse.
I don't know about worse, but yeah, he did. I guess those last couple of Dreadnecks shows, they had their old bass player fill in for him, but he played the last song with them. Because he could get away with using not that finger.
Oh, well, geez.
Yeah. But yeah, he's going to be all right. He'll be back with the Dreadnecks soon.
Yeah, his finger will probably have a built-in callus because it'll be all scar tissue.
Oh, sure.
That'll be nice for his playing.
And keeping, keep the Dreadnecks in mind. Follow their page. I'm sure they're going to be.
They're not going away.
They're not.
Just,
they will.
They just got to lay low for a minute.
They will be back, and I kind of want to say something, but I don't. Let's just say I don't think they're going to be gone for as long as we anticipated.
Well, I mean, it's not like we can get rid of Grant. We saw him at Warped Tour. We run into him all the time.
I can't get rid of Grant. He's
who else is gonna be?
He's everywhere. Yeah.
And body slamming you and all kinds of crazy shit.
Oh my god! If we book the Dreadnecks for Halloween, I just realized I'm gonna have to do a flying elbow drop off of something.
Oh, that'll be really fun.
No, it won't. That's gonna hurt.
Just pretend that you're Jeff Hardy.
Well, I'd be dressed as Macho Man Randy Savage, and that's why the flying elbow.
Oh.
But because I dressed...
When you jump, you're Jeff Hardy.
I dressed as Mick Foley a few years back and went to a Dreadnecks show, and the incomparable Nick Landers got a picture of me with Mr. Sacco down the gullet of Grant from the Dreadnecks.
Oh my god. I haven't seen that picture.
Really? We're going to have to find that. I'll show it to you. Yeah, it's... It's me dressed as Mick Foley with the mandible claw and Grant from the Dreadnecks.
Nice.
Like, I had it on him for a good while because we're just sitting there like, Nick, take the fucking picture. And he was having some, I don't know if his phone has the same troubles mine does with the camera sometimes. Right. I don't know. Like, I've had you take pictures a couple of times for me.
Yeah, it's a good thing that mine worked for Warped Tour, huh?
Yeah, the picture that girl wearing the ThinkSoJoe Show sticker.
Actually, you know what? Her mother sent that to me.
Oh, okay.
Because I couldn't get my phone out. Like, by the time I got my phone out and took the picture, she had already taken the picture and sent it to me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, well, I guess we're like that now.
Sure.
Whatever. Your daughter listens to the show.
Sure. Who lets their kids listen to this show?
I know, right?
I know, like we just mentioned Nick Landers, and I tell you, he listens to the show with headphones on if he listens live.
Yeah.
Because he does not want his children to hear the filth that comes out of my mouth.
Well, honestly, now that Brian isn't on, it's cleaned up a lot. Let's be real. So.
Hold on, wait a minute. Let's. You guys remember this?
You guys stop swearing. I have children over here. Next time you swear, I'm going to call a cop.
That guy don't live there no more, I don't think.
Yeah.
I hope. I keep seeing there's more bicycles on the porch every day.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I've noticed that at times when lights are usually on, like in the bedroom windows.
Is that the Hoff? No, that's not the Hoff.
No.
His face kind of looks like David Hasselhoff.
He kind of looks like a cross between.
But he's holding
David
a hockey
Hasselhoff
stick.
And the guy that plays Adam DeMamp in Workaholics.
Sure, he's holding a hockey stick. So he automatically gets a 10.
I just glanced at his ass for the first time because
you were looking at the face.
I was actually like really distracted by his face.
Well, I just saw I saw the thumbnail and I saw the face first, and I'm like, wait, is that David Hasselhoff? And
that would be a very young David Hasselhoff.
Yeah, no, I don't believe it is, but he's holding a hockey stick, so he automatically gets a 10.
Well,
you know, a hockey stick is the most dangerous weapon known to man.
Really?
It's been documented by the late great Charles Schultz. You were looking at me like, who the hell is Charles Schultz?
Is that the dude that did Snoopy?
That is the dude that did Snoopy, yes. And it is actually a Snoopy's getting married, or Snoopy gets married, or something like that is the title. And he has to go to one of the girls' houses. He gets sent over by Charlie Brown, and like he's insisted to take a weapon. And he says, and he gets the most dangerous weapon known to man, and he's handed a hockey stick.
How funny.
Yes, it's.
I love that you base your life around episodes of Charlie Brown.
Well, I'm just relaying the message that the most dangerous weapon on the planet is a hockey stick.
Well, in that case, that is a 10.
Exactly.
Yes.
Because that guy's gonna kill you with that hockey
stick.
He's
gonna fuck you up. He's not going to kill you. He's going to beat you to the brink of death and let you suffer.
Like God in Dogma, which I watched the other day for like the first time in years.
That's a really, really good movie.
I've owned it for years. I've watched it a bunch of times, but I haven't seen it in years. It was like, all right, well, you know, after I finished watching Star Wars, and particularly the Return of the Jedi, right? Mm-hmm. The first thing that popped in my head as soon as I put in Return of the Jedi was like from Clerks 2, where Randall goes, "There's only one return, okay, and it ain't of the king, it's of the Jedi." And of course, the other thing going through my head is Empire had the better ending. All Jedi had was a bunch of Muppets, which is a line from Clerks. And of course, I posted the Clerks 2 line when I posted my picture of me watching Star Wars. And G from Board Wrestling Fan, he commented with the Clerks 1 line, and I'm like, well, you know, that's a no-brainer. I know what I'm watching next, especially because I don't own the prequel,
right?
Like the prequel trilogy. Like I can borrow it, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure you could.
You just rolled your eyes.
No, that was me like looking through my mental like phone book, trying to think like, who has.
My next door neighbor.
Everybody has them. Everybody.
My next door neighbor and best friend will.
The one that we were talking about. That I'm going to give that Star Wars shirt to.
Yes.
Yeah.
She will probably let me borrow them after I finish this View Askew thing. But that's what got me into watching View Askew. Was like I watched Star Wars. I'm like, now I want to watch Clerks.
How funny.
And of course I watched Clerks, and then it's like, well, shit, I'm still awake. You know, I watched Mall. No, it was the next night I watched Mallrats.
Right.
I watched Mallrats, I watched Chasing Amy, I watched Dogma. And I'm like, all right, when I have time, I will watch Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and I'll watch Clerks 2. Love the View Askew movies. They're all great. Kevin Smith is wonderful. Kevin Smith, gave me a thumbs up on Twitter. You're never going to hear the end of that one, I'm sure.
No.
But, and Mark even sent a picture of Snoopy with the...
I see that. He looks like he's a tough dog right there. Look at how cute you are.
If I still had the brains, yes, I could probably dress up as Jeff Hardy with them.
Yeah, you totally could.
She wants to know if you've watched the greatest film of all time.
UHF?
No.
What?
The greatest film of all time, according to Lady Laura Moore.
Oh, what's that?
Home Alone 5.
I don't think I've seen the fifth one. I think just 1 and 2, maybe 3.
There are no Home Alones past Home Alone 1 and 2. The other ones are just cash grabs, designed to capitalize on the popularity of the first 2.
So, do you have number 5?
No, I don't.
Is it on Netflix?
I don't know.
Are you never going to watch it?
I'm supposed to watch it with Brian.
Brian.
Brian, we miss you.
Brian,
we miss you. Anyway, but no, the greatest film of all time, of course, is indeed UHF, which I have not yet watched on my projector.
I know.
Of course, tonight I'm probably going to finish the View Askew movies.
Yeah.
And I'm probably going to play Super Mario Brothers.
Very cool. Very, very cool. You know what's funny is that your daughter yesterday, I didn't really think of myself until yesterday as old.
Yeah.
But your daughter, like, just into completely different things than when I was a 14-year-old girl.
She really liked what you got her, though.
I know, but...
She took it home with her.
I know, but I had to think really hard, and I was like, damn it, I'm not going to go spend a lot of money because I don't know if I'm going to get her anything that she's going to like, so I just got her, like, neat stuff from the dollar store. But, like, there was a point where she looked up at me and said thank you, and I was like, oh my god, she's not just being polite, like, she actually likes it.
Right.
And that was really exciting.
So we're walking through the mall, and we ended up at, like, what was this, Charlotte Russe or whatever the hell that is?
Yeah.
Right?
The Slut Factory, that's what I.
So, well, that's where she wanted to shop.
I know. Their dressier clothes are really, really skanky, but the stuff that she picked out, I was looking at, and I was like,
Sure.
okay, it's a little short, a little bit of midriff showing, but other than that, like, it was just a plain shirt,
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, so we're going by there. Oh, Slapshot. That's up there. Mark says the best film ever is Slapshot.
I've not seen.
Oh, we're gonna watch Slapshot at some point.
All right.
I need to refresh. I haven't seen it in years. Anyway.
Yeah.
So we're walking into Charlotte Russe, and there's this yellow dress, and you're just like, I should buy that for Sauce Month. And then everything yellow that you saw, you're like, Sauce Month, Sauce Month.
It seems that mustard is a very in color this season, so I spent a lot of time celebrating Sauce Month.
Well, you see, Charlotte Russe is smart. She knows it's hashtag Sauce Month.
Hashtag Sauce
So
Month.
she's got to sell all that yellow stuff. That's why the yellow dress was right there, right in the doorway, right when you walk in.
There were so many yellow dresses. I was like, man, I really want to get a yellow dress for the Yellow Sauce CD release party, but maybe I'll just see if I can wear the banana.
Right.
I don't know how that would fit in with our storyline, but
you can talk to Bob. You can talk to Leland about that.
Right.
Or Ryan, I'm sure one of them will.
We'll have to have a conference.
Yeah, but yes, August 31st. That's a Friday night. It's Stamps with Don Roth, Janie Crash and the Tallmen, XM Priory, and of course Yellow Sauce.
Holy cannoli!
I do believe that their intent is to play the full album front to back.
Oh. And this isn't an EP. This is a full length. This is
a full length album. I was there hanging out with them while they were recording, and they were told it wouldn't fit on a vinyl.
Oh.
So it's a pretty decent length apparently.
That's pretty cool.
So,
I'm so looking. I haven't looked forward to a release like this since XM Priory.
I know. And XM Priory had an excellent CD release, too.
Yeah.
So
compete with that Yellow Sauce.
Oh, Yellow Sauce is going to... Yeah, Yellow Sauce is going to do...
Well, they have XM on the
They have XM Priory.
Yeah, they'll be just fine.
So they don't have to compete. They just have to... Yeah, it's gonna be a really fun and excellent show, and we're gonna have a lot of fun that night.
Yes, we are.
It's all WNY returning to Stamps for the first time since February. First all WNY show in 6 months at Stamps.
Holy cow!
And I know Jen and Chuck, they were so relieved when we're like, yeah, we're just gonna start doing shows other places and not here, because they didn't have to clean up balloons at the end of the night.
We popped what we could.
But we helped. I helped at the end of the last show.
Yeah.
So, but there may or may not be balloons. I didn't comment on Yellow Sauce's sharing of my yellow balloon with a picture of a package of 144 yellow balloons.
144, that's a lot of fucking balloons.
That is a gross amount of balloons.
Gross.
It's literally
I see what you did there.
Literally a gross amount of balloons. Yes.
Yes.
I know what a gross is because that's how you used to buy guitar picks from like TuneIn. Or
really?
In Tune, rather. TuneIn is where you listen to this show. In Tune, I used to buy the ThinkSo brand guitar picks.
Oh.
So you would buy them in grosses.
Yeah.
So that's why I know what a gross is. 144.
I guess a dozen guitar picks isn't really going to get you that far.
It will not, especially if
but
you're...
But a gross
but the whole...
a dozen, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
But the point of having your logo on guitar picks is throw them out.
Yeah.
They're for promotion. We did necklaces that we were selling for like $5.
Yeah. I put one of your picks on a pin, but it fell off. Yeah.
Yeah, and of course we would throw them out to the crowd when we were done playing or whatever,
yeah.
And other bands are still doing that. I've got Kennedy Carpool.
Kennedy Carpool, yeah.
I've got a Long Cold Dark Bullet Club inspired pick.
Oh, really?
I'm really surprised. We were at that Descendants show, and we were playing we were playing the T-shirt game where we're looking for...
Oh my goodness, we had a good time with that.
We did. In fact, I saw a Long Cold Dark shirt at the Descendants show.
Yeah.
And I posted something about it on Facebook, and Drew thought I was at the Slayer show. Because I said we're looking for shirts that don't match the genre of the show we're at. And he was like, so we're not in the genre of like Slayer and all them? I said, no, dude, I'm at the Descendants show.
Right.
Like, you don't fit in with
the... Well, didn't we see a little dude in... an Anthrax shirt?
We saw a little dude in an Anthrax shirt, and Anthrax was playing at the Slayer show.
Right. He was like, Mom, Dad, I want to go to the other show in town.
I'm like, I think I win with that one, but I saw two dudes wearing obituary T-shirts, and they were the exact same design obituary T-shirts, just one was like really faded and beat up, and the other one was like in pretty good shape. But I don't see obituary shirts at metal shows. Let alone seeing two of the same obituary shirts.
It must not be like they're into a specific genre. They must just like good music, you know. It they're not like metalhead or
but we also
rock.
We also saw T-shirts for On the Cinder.
We did. There was another local that we saw too. I was
wearing City Powered Radio and
Ryan was wearing Voice of Dissent.
I didn't see it, but apparently Sean from Arcadia was there wearing a Barksdale's T-shirt.
Oh, we usually see the Barksdale T-shirt wherever we go, too.
Yeah.
If you're not wearing it.
Right.
There, you know what? There was a girl in what looked like a tutu that was standing next to us for a while, and it was yellow. And that is actually what started my obsession with #Sauce Month. I almost took a picture of this girl's tutu and posted it on Facebook for you guys.
And there was a guy with all over print of bananas on his shirt.
That's right, that happened. And then like half of the merch booth was yellow T-shirts, and you know how some dorks put the T-shirt right on when they get them at a show?
Of course.
So there's just like random like traffic yellow T-shirts throughout the crowd. I'm like, holy sauce month. It was a little overwhelming.
Yeah,
people don't usually wear yellow. That's kind of a weird color for people to wear. All of a sudden, Sauce Month hits, and here we go.
I really enjoy playing the wrong T-shirt game when we go to shows.
Oh my gosh!
Pretty much anything is gonna fit into that category tomorrow at the Headstones at Canalside.
Oh, one that I've been seeing at every show too. Is there's always a Wu-Tang. Any genre that you're at, there's a Wu-Tang patch or hat or hoodie or T-shirt. Always.
I think by this point, Wu-Tang has transcended the genre of hip-hop, and they're
it just means you smoke weed.
You might be right.
But you don't listen to Wu-Tang on the regular. Like I'm much more likely, I feel, to put on Wu-Tang than you are. And we'll leave that at that. I love this picture of you with braids, though. I look at the spit guard. You need to let me file.
It's not a pick guard. It's
spit guard.
Oh, I thought you said a pick guard.
You need to let me file a ridge in here so that it has something to grab onto.
Or I just need to connect it to the stand like I had it before.
Oh, that's an option. Just do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I had it before, and then I just, because I have that one over there for when we have the third mic set up.
Right.
Yeah.
When are we going to have a guest again?
By the end of the month.
Oh, we're having yellow sauce, isn't that
We
right?
are having yellow sauce.
Jesus. I'm sorry, I can't stop thinking about the sauce.
The sauce! Nobody can stop thinking of the sauce. I'm looking forward to this album coming out, not just because I'm on it, but because I can't wait to hear more yellow sauce.
I know!
And have a song other than Space Wizard stuck in my head all the time. When I was hanging out with them at the studio, they played one of their songs that they consistently play at live shows, and that was stuck in my head for a couple of weeks. And I'm not going to repeat it here because I don't want it stuck in my head again. Even though just thinking about it, you're probably going to hear me walking around the house singing it later. But yeah, that's it's going to be. It's going to be a fun show. It's going to be a great album.
Well, I've heard all of their shows are fun, no matter, who they're playing with, what the venue. I have never seen them and not been, thoroughly amused.
They are deceptively loud.
Oh my God, they blew the roof off the Burt.
So, you know how, I was posting videos from my concert camera?
Yeah.
And I was posting those after every show. We had them at Nietzsche's, and that's the first show that I didn't end up posting anything. One, because I was kind of busy, and two, just because yellow sauce popped my mic.
Oh, just distorted the whole time?
No, not the whole time. Just, I had it set to a good volume.
Yeah.
And then they get into the chorus or whatever, and Leland starts singing louder.
Yeah.
And it pops, and it's oh man, or peaks or spikes or whatever you want to call it. But
peaks.
I'm sure if somebody were still with us, he'd be able to give us an answer. But I hate to bring it back to that, but the idea behind some of the artists that I chose to play today, the first time I really got to talk to Greg Rinker was at the LWNY Music Awards last year.
Wow.
Yeah, it was the first time I really got to know him and got to talk to him, and he, really acknowledged me and that he knew me and whatever.
Yeah.
And one of the artists that played on that show was Mindy Davey.
Oh,
good friend of ours.
Her.
Yeah, well, we both.
She's
love
a friend of LWNY.
She's a friend of ours, a friend of the show, friend of the station. And she's been posting all these weight loss pictures lately.
I didn't think she was heavy to begin with.
I didn't think so either, but she looks great, and
and as long as she's healthy, good for her.
Oh, yeah, and
I think she is. She takes care of herself now. She didn't always.
No, absolutely not. And she's she's spoken a lot about that, and we've spoken a lot about it on the show, where all the transformations, everything that she's gone through, and all the recovery that she's been through and everything. And so just really good on her. And for once, we're not leading into one of her songs by talking about, I don't know, whatever the hell we usually used to talk about before we would lead into Mindy Davey songs.
Butt fucking or something.
Yeah,
horrible.
some shit. Something. We used to talk about horrible shit, and then anyway, here's Mindy Davey.
Yep, I know.
and I always felt bad because it was never intentional. It just happened. But yeah, that's where I met Mindy Davey for the first time. That's where I met you.
She actually has a show coming up, if it didn't already happen. A benefit show.
Does she? I did not.
Yeah, while we play the song, why don't we look it up?
Well, that's a good idea. This is Mindy Davey. This is her latest song. It's called Morgan's Song on LWNY Radio. ThinkSoJoe Show.
Treat everyone like family, don't
Mindy Davey on all WNY Radio, the ThinkSoJoe Show. So she's actually got a music video for that song. It's premiering 18 days from today. It's going to be on August 25th. And it's going to be at Niawanda Park as part of Discover 716 Bash.
Wow.
Which is celebrating 20,000 716ers on their app, and a thank you to the 716 community for their amazing support. It's going to have live entertainment, 4 acts, including Mindy Davey, food with booths and trucks, beer and wine from all your local favorites, contests of a chicken wing and ice cream eating and things of that nature, a Rainbow Air Ticket for 2 door prize.
Sweet.
And a car show, so you can bring your custom cars to this at Niawanda Park.
Man.
August 25th, and much more. And they've teamed up with Mindy Davey and Hope Rises to premiere Mindy's anti-bullying music video, Morgan Song, at the event.
That's what I was thinking of, is the Hope Rises.
And it is free. It's August 25th at Niawanda Park.
Family-friendly event.
Yes.
That's always nice.
Yes,
we get a lot of really cool events that we promote here, but we don't get a lot of stuff that Nick Landers can bring 3 children to.
Right, exactly. Yes, that's true.
Weekends are hard for people like Nick Landers.
And it's free, so Nick can, so money's not an issue, too. He can
spend all his money on ice cream instead of admission.
Right, yeah. Yes, for sure. That looks like it's going to be a really cool, really fun event.
Yeah.
And we just discovered that there was another event that we were planning on going to that I can't go to because...
well, I mean...
Which
you
is
got
fine
the better
with
end
me,
of the deal.
Yeah, it's fine with me. It's just, like...
Oh, well.
Oh, well, I can't... I've switched a lot of days recently in my schedule, so I can't... I really can't.
I know
time.
you can't. Ugh.
I felt bad because I couldn't go to the last thing that I switched to get the schedule for, which was the Folk and Punk Fest.
Yeah, which seems to have turned out relatively well from the things that I saw Eric post.
Sure.
I, of course, was feeling like shit that day.
And I had to, desperately get work done.
Adulting sucks, guys.
Yeah, I would have, that was the whole thing was wait, you mean we're staying there if we go? I can't do that,
Yeah.
I can go, but I can't stay.
Who knows when we would have been home.
Because nighttime is when I like to work.
I know, because it's not so hot in this studio.
It's humid a little bit right now. It's
a little sticky, but I'm surviving.
Yeah. After the show, I'll end up throwing the AC on for half an hour. We can do dinner, and then I can do the 2 jobs I have to do tonight.
Yeah.
3 jobs I have to do. 4 jobs? I don't know. However many jobs I got to do tonight.
You can do the jobs. I am now, my mind is on dinner. Thank you.
Yes. Dinner. It's
going to be good.
I'm sure it will be. Don't yawn. It's too early for that.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
It's too early for that.
Well, you just woke up.
I know.
I have been...
I also worked all night.
I've been cleaning all day.
This is true.
And look at how much I did. I cleaned the last room that needed to be cleaned.
Yes, you did. You got permission from the person who was in charge of that room. So
I'm actually honored that she gave me permission to clean her room.
Yeah. And then you found a bunch of scum of the earth flyers from
oh my God, what a trip!
8 years ago.
With the support was ThinkSoBrain and Sixpin, who actually got me into doing what I do, stagehand work. My first gig was their bass tech working for Scrappy.
The album they had out at the time of that show was really phenomenal. And
Made to Bleed?
I don't think, no, it was Vegas.
Oh.
It was the album that came out around that time. And just, I saw a post on my On This Day, I can't get this song from Sixpin out of my head. It's, I can't think of the name of the song, but it's I can't get this song out of my head. And then as soon as I read the name of the song, I was like, yeah, I know that song. And it got back in my head. And it's in my head right now. And I'm just yeah, Sixpin.
Awesome.
Those guys were so good. We played a couple of shows with them. We did one of the, what's the place in, North Tonawanda? The
Socorro Post?
Socorro Post. We played Socorro Post with them. We also played Broadway Joe's with them
Holy shit.
with Smile Empty Soul
Don't
and
you
Edison.
miss Broadway Joe's?
Not really.
It was a fucking scumhole, sure. But they hosted some really good concerts.
Sure. But you found flyers for a show that didn't take place.
Right.
So this show, it was Scum of the Earth with Six Pin and ThinkSo Brain. And first of all, the picture of ThinkSo Brain was from a 2008 or 2007 show. Mm-hmm. And at that time, my lineup was I had Luke and Anth, who are now both in XM Priory, were my guitar player and my drummer, respectively. And some fat fuck was our bass player.
Ew.
His name doesn't get mentioned.
Later.
Anyway, and later on, I still had the same bass player, but at the time of this Scum of the Earth show, I had Carl Jinx Harris was my drummer and Dave Tickett was my guitar player. And they were not in the picture on the flyer.
Ah, bummer.
It was Luke and Anth that were in the picture on the flyer. And so, meanwhile, this show was sponsored by Jägermeister. And the venue, the Ice House,
I never went to the Ice House.
It was a nice venue. It wasn't bad. It
was in the Falls, right?
It was in the Falls. It's still there. It's just I don't think anybody's doing anything with it. But anyway, so the stage was in the corner.
I like corner stages.
It was interesting, and it was a big stage too. It was a big enough stage, and there was a backstage area and
how
all
nice.
that stuff. But anyway, so they didn't have a liquor license at the time. This show is sponsored by Jägermeister. That's one of the reasons I heard why this show didn't happen. The other reason that I heard this show didn't happen is Scum of the Earth had no idea that they were booked, and were in Europe at the time. And a funny story, and I was telling you this earlier, is I went and saw the band Cavo. I won tickets from our local national terrestrial, not national, but local terrestrial radio station. I still say that with disdain, right?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep.
So, I won tickets from them, and they had an acoustic show at the radio station early in the day. We got tickets for that, and we got tickets for their show later at the Trough. So we went to the sessions at the radio station there, and I finally heard back from the promoter, and the promoter says, yeah, the show's off, because I had seen Sixpin posting that the show was off. And
yeah.
I'm posting, as far as we know, the show's still on.
This was probably on MySpace that you were posting this, right?
Maybe?
It seems like it was still MySpace. For me, at least, when I was working for Sixpin.
It was 2010, so it could have been Facebook. I don't know, but I remember I posted, we're hearing rumors, we don't know nothing, as far as we know, this show's still on.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're sitting at this Cavo, acoustic performance, and I get this text, oh yeah, the show's off. And I don't know if there was an explanation or what in the text, but whatever, the show was off.
And, back then, people didn't text as commonly as they do, for important things like breaking up, canceling shows.
Sure.
People didn't really do that. They kind of called you or did it to your face.
It is entirely possible that he called me. I don't know. We're talking 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So I was there with my ex, and I turned to her and I said, oh yeah, okay, the show's off. And Cavo had just finished their set, and they're walking around greeting everybody and thanking everybody for coming and all that, right? And they're like, wait, our show's off. I said, no, you guys are still playing. My show on October 27th or whatever is off. Whenever we were supposed to play with Scum of the Earth, we wound up. It was September 27th, I think was the day. I don't know, whatever. The picture's on my Facebook. Anyway, so
Where the hell are the flyers? I just gave you a huge they're in the bedroom.
They're in the bedroom. Anyway, so we ended up jumping on a bill with Indie Your Own at Moojunes that same night.
Was it Moojunes or was it still Paul Mary's?
No, it was Moojunes.
Okay. What year did they change it?
I don't know, but I know in 2010 it was definitely Moojunes, because that was when we finally got into Niagara Falls. We're a Niagara Falls band, and we're constantly playing Buffalo.
Right.
We had not played Niagara Falls with the original lineup.
Yeah.
And then, once I got that, I call it the 2.0 lineup with Dave and Carl and Fat Guy. And we got to play Tonawanda and North Tonawanda and Niagara Falls. We got to play We finally got to play at home. You know, it's like, hey, look, we didn't have to travel a half an hour for this show. Except for our fat bass player. Yeah, anyway. But yeah, it was, I mean, we played Tonawanda all the time with the original lineup at a place called Maggie's.
I can picture the sign, but I can't picture the building.
Yeah,
Was it just a dive bar?
It was a dive bar. Apparently, like, a lot of hip-hop heads hang out there regularly, but all WNY was providing the entertainment on Friday and Saturday nights.
So it wasn't hip-hop.
So, of course, ThinkSo Brain was like the XM Priory of that time. And not just because we had two of the members.
Not just the same people.
Not just because we had two of the members, but we were in good with all WNY, and we kept getting booked on shows, and we would play there, like, once a month.
Yeah.
It would feel like. And we played, we actually played New Year's Eve, into 2017. That was our first... we were the first band to play in 2017, and we were the last band to play in 2017 at the same bar. Which there's video of that.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, there's video.
Is that when you got shit-faced?
That's when I was so shit-faced I thought the clock was the countdown.
That's cute. I'm glad you don't drink.
Yeah. Me too. Anyway. Yes. So anyway, yeah, but that was I forgot my point. Anyway.
I'm sorry.
But yeah, no, we got into Moojunes and we played there a bunch of times. Chris Tice actually got us into Moojunes the first time. And then we got in good with their booker, and we were booking our own stuff there, and we had some great shows with the Whiskey Reverb and Dead Before Dawn, and Into Your Own was... We enjoyed playing with Into Your Own, but that lineup soon dissolved and got new members, and yeah,
Sometimes the 2.0 is not always better. Huh?
Well, the 2.0 was better because their guitar player wasn't fucking in it anymore, and I don't like that guy, but that's a whole different story. That was I had a personal issue, and I basically withdrew from playing shows, and one of the shows we had coming up with this was this Halloween show at Evening Star with Into Your Own. And it was just this big deal, and we had this whole theatrical thing that we were doing for it. And I had a personal issue. I canceled the show. I backed out, and they, one of their members, flat out went on Facebook, spread my personal business, or MySpace it might have been, I don't know.
Wow.
But put my personal business all over Facebook and was like, it's a privilege to play with Into Your Own.
Wow. Get over yourself.
Yeah, okay,
I
dude,
don't care who
whatever.
you are.
You guys, and I will say this for Into Your Own. At that time, STEM had just ended or was about to end, and Into Your Own was the next big thing at the time. At least it seemed that way. And then Mario left. And then they kicked that particular guitar player out.
Yeah.
But the bass player they hired was my former bass player.
Oh, wow.
So
they did not have a future.
Well, no, any band that hires that guy seems to not have a future. So
it's a shame. He's cursed.
I mean, well, let's look at some of the bands he's been in.
None of them are around now, are they?
Well, one of them is around.
Oh.
That is Diceros.
Oh.
But let's look at bands that this guy was in. Let's see. Into Your Own, gone.
Yeah.
Lost Elysium, gone.
I mean, are they gone?
Might as well be.
I know might as well be, but...
Ashley, if you're listening, I love you to death, but, your new album is not what I was expecting. It's good. It's good. This is the thing. Let me give you my honest opinion of this new Lost Elysium, EP, I guess we could call it, that just came out on Google Play a couple weeks ago.
It?
I believe it's 4 or 5 songs. Okay. So let me give my honest opinion of this. It is really good for what it is. But what it is it's Ashley doing a solo thing.
Okay.
So there's no drums, no guitar on the first few songs.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Does she play like keys?
She plays. I believe I would, if I had to venture a guess, it's Ashley playing keys.
Okay.
And her singing, and she sounds phenomenal. The songs are good, but like here's the thing: is the other songs on the EP. One is an old Lost Elysium song that she arranged for herself to perform.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it is a Lost Elysium EP, so I guess
Right.
that's fair. And the other two tracks are both the song Think Like the Enemy, and they are both the previously released versions of Think Like the Enemy.
Oh, that's kind of lame.
Which have, of course, Brian on them.
Right.
So
you just can't get any better than that.
I was under the impression that she had a whole new band.
Yeah.
That
I was really curious.
And that the whole band was in the studio working and putting out this new album, and
it's just been her working on this.
And it was not quite what I was expecting. It's good. If you like,
it's just not Lost Elysium. It's her.
If you like Lost Elysium and you like Ashley's vocals and you like what Ashley does, this is the EP for you. You will enjoy it. But if you're like you liked Lost Elysium for Brian or for Earl or for Devin or for Ricky or anybody, like any of those guys, like anybody that's ever been in
more
Lost
the
Elysium,
instrumental side.
Yeah, like this, you're not gonna appreciate it that much because it is mostly Ashley.
Okay.
And I personally liked both aspects of Lost Elysium. I like Ashley. I like the rest of the guys that were in the band, and it's just not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
I was expecting a full band, like at this point, full length album as long as they had been in the studio.
Maybe when you come back to it in a few months or something like that, and you're not looking at it expecting a continuation of what, Lost Elysium was.
Sure.
And your palate's refreshed, maybe you'll listen to it and you'll appreciate it on a different level, recognizing that it is not Brian's version of Lost Elysium or Earl's version of Lost Elysium. And I'm sorry, I don't know the other people, but it's Ashley,
So if you have that full-length Lost Elysium album, whose name escapes me at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know.
But if you have that full-length Lost Elysium album, there are a couple of, like, interludes in there where it is, like, keys and it's Ashley. That's what the new Lost Elysium EP is. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm really not. Okay. I thought it was, it was just, like, my thing was I was told about it by a former member of Lost Elysium. Mm-hmm. So I was like, going into it, like, I really want to hear what the new Lost Elysium sounds like.
Yeah.
And that's not what I got. I got basically Ashley's solo stuff and an old Lost Elysium track.
Right.
Which is, again, it's fine. It's Lost Elysium. That's her thing. It's just not what I was really expecting, but
not what you were expecting, not what you were hoping for.
Not what I was expecting. I don't, like I said, I don't want to knock the album. I don't think it was a bad album. I think it was really well for what it is, and it's just not what you thought it would be if you're a Lost Elysium fan going into it like, ooh, what does this new lineup sound like?
Yeah, so maybe this is a big jump in the evolution of the project that is Lost Elysium.
Sure. But again, that's another band that couldn't hold a lineup after that guy was in it.
Yep.
So that's which is my point.
Right.
J. Ryan Kane, the Gravity Thieves. He joined the band. Ryan did something. I'm not going to mention it on the air. I know what it was, but I'm not going to mention it. So yeah, like basically anything he touches turns to shit. And I feel bad mocking the guy because I know he's got his issues too. You know what I mean? So like I know he's not listening to this show.
Right.
If anybody's listening to this show and relays this to him, listen, I don't hate the guy. I don't hold any ill will towards him, and I hope he's okay. I know he's been having his issues, and I hope he's okay, especially in light of recent events.
I think I met him through Greg, if I'm not mistaken.
In light of recent, I really hope he's okay, and I hope if anybody's listening to this and is mutual friends with him, just, let him know, hey, we're picking on him a little bit, but like, I was best friends with the guy for a long time, and we just had a falling out, and, you know, shit happens. But I honestly, truly, 100% hope he's okay, and hope he's doing well, and hope he's, like, you know, got himself back on track, you know? Like, I hope he's feeling better, you know?
Yeah.
So, I just want to put that out there, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
You know, we haven't spoken in years, and I don't think about him, and I don't hold a grudge, I don't hold any ill will, I don't know if he does or not or whatever, but, you know, like, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I would imagine that anybody else that knows him and maybe aren't his biggest fans, maybe, you know, I would hope that they also, you know, would like to think that he's, you know, would like him to be okay.
Right.
And that's...
Well, you know, this community is small and tight-knit, and especially as people are dropping off on us here,
yeah,
you know,
we don't need to lose...
how there for each other we are, you know, and...
We don't need to lose anybody else, and I sincerely, honestly, you know, I said I wouldn't mention his name, but if anybody knows George Cardona, just, you know, I hope he's okay. Somebody check on him, make sure he's all right, you know, like...
Yeah.
I really, you know, like I said, it's, you know, don't bother me that we're not friends. I understand where he was coming from or whatever, you know what I mean? But, like, you know, he was a big part of my life for a number of years, and I really hope he's okay.
Yeah.
Yay, we went back to a down note. I'm sorry about that.
Well...
It just led that way, and because I felt like I was kind of ripping on him, and I know, like... You know, how I know how he feels about things, so I'd rather, you know, at least say, hey, you know,
Yeah.
I don't mean these things, you know, I say them from a, you know, position of, like, you know, he bailed on me, you know, basically,
Yeah.
let's say that, but, you know, I don't wish him any ill will or any harm or anything, so.
Yeah, of course.
That was back when I had hair like that. That picture there,
Yeah.
that made a little more sense of my my braids back in the day.
Yeah.
That was a fun day, that photo shoot. I got my picture taken by Christine Wallace, Lifetime Memories Photography.
Really?
Yeah, she got married, so her name's not Christine Wallace anymore. I can't think of what her last name is.
I bet
now,
if you Googled Christine Wallace, she would come up.
I'm willing to bet if I just type in Christine if I spell it right. Christine Pilarski. That's
Wallace
her married name.
Wallace is a little bit easier to remember, though.
Maybe she still goes professional. Lifetime Memories Photography. Anyway,
Yeah.
she did this photo shoot with me, and we just kind of hopped into her car and just kind of drove around, and we found this, like, abandoned, like, it wasn't like an amusement, it wasn't like a park, but it was like they had, like, you know, the thing, like, you sit on and you spin at the big metal thing?
The, like, merry-go-round kind of thing?
Kind of, something like that, yeah. But, like, you manually spin it? But anyway,
yeah, I know.
Yeah, like, we found a broken one of those, and, like, there's this
geez.
picture of me standing on that, and, like, yeah, it just...
That's kind of twisted.
No, it was fun. We went and got a picture taken at this bridge, picture taken in front of, like, the Welcome to Niagara Falls sign right by the airport there, like all kind, like, it was a fun photo shoot. We had a good day. It was a nice day. In fact, that's I'm wearing that Let's Go Buffalo t-shirt that's all
Yeah,
faded.
that Sabres shirt.
Yeah, you can't see it there. It's behind her watermark. But
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
but
Go
you can
Buffalo
see that
t-shirt.
it's not as faded as
Oh,
it
no,
is
that was
now.
that was in great shape back then.
It looks like a black t-shirt now. It doesn't look like anything.
Yeah. That was a fun day. Christine does great work if anybody's looking to.
And I mean, that was, 10 years ago? She's
That was-
probably
yeah,
gotten a
that
lot
was-
better, too.
That was probably 10, 11 years ago, that photo shoot. We did one with ThinkSoJoe with, it was right before our original drummer left. So there was, it was me, Luke, Anth, and George.
Mm-hmm.
And we did it in an abandoned mausoleum.
Oh, that's cool.
And I don't think I have any of the pictures.
Jeez.
But we had this one. And it was us all standing on, like, these steps that led down. There was, like, a basement in this mausoleum.
Okay.
We're all standing on these steps. And when our drummer Rob left, we just photoshopped Anth's head onto his body, which like it looked weird because Rob was a lot skinnier than Anth, which is saying a lot because Anth is a tiny guy.
Yeah, he's on the smaller side. He's not a beefy dude.
No, he's got muscle though. You know what I mean?
Of course,
Like Rob
he's a
had.
drummer.
Rob didn't. Well, Rob was a drummer and didn't have muscle. So,
How do you do that?
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure like he was strong, like he had muscles where he could do stuff, but he didn't have like he didn't look defined. You know what I mean? Like,
How funny.
but yeah, that's we had a lot of fun shooting with Christine. All right, so 7:30 now actually.
7:30.
7:30. I'm getting ahead of myself.
7:30.
These are friends of ours.
Oh my gosh.
With a new single that apparently we've already played once.
Yes.
But we're gonna play.
Let's see, what are the names? That second one down is also been used for stuff.
Yes. Which is weird because like this other album was released in 2014 and these guys came out this year.
Oh yeah, that is weird. Maybe
So
it's been somebody's side project or something. We'll have to get the story.
Maybe. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. If anybody knows why there's more than just the couple of songs on At the Helm's Google Play page, but these are friends of ours, and they were formerly in a band called Wave the Flag.
Right.
And you and I went to the very first Wave the Flag show.
If I'm not mistaken. No, there were other ones because they played another one for us.
They played our Christmas show last year.
That's what
but we went to the very first. It was really like the first time you and I actually specifically went somewhere together.
Together without supervision.
Yes, it was the first time you and I actually went anywhere because you're like, I want to go to the At the Helm show, and I'm like, I have like, how the hell, like, how are we gonna get home? And you're like, oh, we'll just Uber back to my mom's house. Like, okay, cool. So that was also the first time we
slept together, but we didn't.
Literally slept.
We slept like.
Literally slept, fully clothed. Yeah.
Yeah, fully clothed. There might have been a pillow separating us.
Probably. But we went and saw Wave the Flag. That was at Evening Star, and. And of course, that was. Of course,
our wonderful.
And
Greg.
I honestly believe that may have been the last time I went to Evening Star. So I think that may have been.
Yeah, wow.
That may have been the last time I actually saw Greg.
I feel like I've seen him at a show here and there.
I'm sure, because I've seen him out at shows. I don't think I've seen him.
He's always at the really, really good ones.
I don't know that I've seen him since then, though, and so I figured I don't want to play Wave the Flag because that's they're not a thing anymore, but
right.
At least we can play the remnants of Wave the Flag, which
well, worth mentioning if I may.
You may.
I was in touch with the former singer Dennis from Wave the Flag, and he has some stuff in his back pocket that he's getting ready to share with us. So we're going to be having some stuff from him.
Sounds like something for next week's show.
Possibly. Yes.
We should have some yellow sauce to play next week.
Oh, those would go good together.
I do believe that they're supposed to be getting the mixes tomorrow, and we should be able to...
oh, this is so exciting.
We should be able to start unveiling a little bit of this Ballad of Bob Paul album.
Oh, my God. I'm so curious.
Me too. I've heard some of it, because I was at the studio with them.
You have some VIP access. That
I did, and Jason Wright of On the Cinder was recording for them, and would not let us leave without, like, they wanted me to hear one song and he wanted me to hear another, so I got to hear like 4 songs before we left, just because, like, they wanted me to hear a song called Flying Bison, which is actually depicted in their album cover.
Is that about Chip Dip? I
do not believe so. I believe it's about, well, I don't know what the song's about.
No, it's about something that makes sense, Corina.
No, it's there's the Flying Bison Brewing Company.
Oh, okay.
And I believe that was at least the inspiration for the song, but it's represented in the album cover if you find it on Yellow Sauce's page there. And also, of course, the song that Ryan wanted me to hear was, or not Ryan, Jason wanted me to hear was the song that always gets stuck in my head when I go see Yellow Sauce, which is the song the taco one. Yeah, the taco one. Anyway, but this is, anyway, I digress. This is At the Helm. This song called Jezebel on all WNY Radio. ThinkSoJoe Show.
comes you, this beauty from the blue. You gotta be kidding me, shining with clarity. This one time telling you it's something brand new. She goes with all the power, cuts through my innocence, leaves me on that silo. Oh no, I know Jezebel. I know Jezebel. Diamonds on our minds is a terrible thing. It's a transformation with a nurture thrill. Got a body not from this earth. I'm just saying she's a monster. I don't care what they say. I don't care what she done. Little reason to fear the masses just to make it picture perfect. She goes with all the power, cuts through my innocence, leaves me on that silo. Oh no, I know Jezebel. I've loved life my day, never once ever thought it'd go my way, and then there comes you, this beauty from the blue. She flows with all the power, cuts through my innocence, leaves me on that silo. Oh no, I know. Oh no, I know. Oh no, I know Jezebel.
At the Helm. Jeez, I almost messed myself up there. Yeah, At the Helm. All WNY Think So Joe Show.
I love them. They're just so freaking good.
Oh, they're incredibly talented.
And yeah, I got to take
let me say this about them is Rob and Gus and their guitar player are like
Jake.
Jake is the guy's name? Okay. So the three of them are really great if you're taking pictures of the band. Mario, on the other hand,
Right?
moves so goddamn much.
He is a squirmy wormy.
It is very difficult unless he sees you.
Yeah,
Then he will
he
will pose for you. But like he was almost impossible to get a good picture of when I was shooting at the show we had back
the
in
Food
Mohawk.
Not Bombs show. And you know what? To be perfectly honest, there was nobody there, and he was still that into it.
Oh, yeah, no,
like that's awesome. Like,
yeah.
Thank you for a great show.
Oh, absolutely. And Mario has been a consummate performer since I've known him, and I've known him for probably a little over a decade now.
Yeah.
Back in the Think So Brain early days.
Yeah.
Back when he was in Syrian Geometry.
I remember Syrian Geometry.
Yeah, he was in there with
Wasn't Rob in that too?
Rob Helms, Johnny Helms, and Danny Helms.
Yeah.
Syrian Geometry. What a great band they were. I
only got to see them once, I think.
I never got a copy of.
No, twice. So happy with them. Like, oh my god.
I never got a copy of their second album. I might have to start needling them to try and get one.
Oh, they gotta have some somewhere.
I'm sure somebody's got one or can burn me one from them.
Got something digital or something.
Yeah, or digital. Like that would be fine. Their first EP, Earthworm, is one of my favorite vocal records ever. Yeah. And in fact, there's a song called oh crap, what's the name of the song? I forget what the name of the song is. But I was listening to it because I have it on my phone and it came on random and I was listening to it. And there's this one song where it's just about commercialism. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I would really like to do this song as a voiceover. And Danny sent me the lyrics.
Oh, really?
And I recorded it and I never, I didn't put it out.
Why?
I don't know. It didn't come out as well as I thought it was going to. But it was really cool with the lyrics. Like, I thought that would make for a great voiceover to just be like, here, listen to this, you know, like this is he said, dude, you're welcome to do whatever you want and put it out with this.
That's
like,
really nice.
And I'm sure like not actually record the song
They're
or anything,
really,
but like,
they're a crew that really encourages creativity.
I love the Helms family. They have been really good to me over the decade plus that I've known them. And Johnny, in fact, recorded in the early stages of the Music Lab, recorded the Think So Brain 3-song demo.
No shit.
Yeah. So I got a call from the Music Lab the other day, and this is like a month ago now. I got a call from the Music Lab, and I'm like, that's weird. I missed a call from the Music Lab.
Yeah, why were they calling? So
I called back. Like, I verified the phone number was the Music Lab, and I called back. I'm like, did you just call me? No, I didn't call you. Like, you're not even my recent calls. It must have been a spoof. Spoofer, right? Which happened to me later on.
That happens to me recently, too.
It happened to me where somebody called me like, you just called me? Like, no.
Yeah, it's creepy, kind of.
Yeah. People
steal your phone number.
Yeah. But I only got one call about it, so whatever. But anyway, so I bumped into Johnny at the XM Priory CD release. So this is going back a couple of... This is going back a month or two. But anyway, so I bumped into Johnny. I'm like, dude, it must have been a spoof, because if you didn't call me...
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I thought that was you that called, and I had given my name. Because I knew it was Johnny, and I wasn't positive it was Johnny, but I given my name, and I figured he knew who I am.
Right.
And he's like, oh, I thought that was you. Yeah, well, duh, I told you who I was.
I told you it was me.
But it's Johnny, so we'll forgive him. So if you go and you look up Think So Brain on YouTube, you'll find the audio from a song called Greater Than Expected, and we call it the You Can't Be Syrian mix.
That's cute.
And I will tell you why it's listed as a mix and not as the actual song. It's not because of Johnny. It is because of Rich Spalla, formerly of STEM.
Oh.
And so when I say the early stages of the Music Lab, Johnny was still learning, and his mentor was Rich Spalla.
Holy shit, we're getting old.
So now Rich Spalla is in the studio. He's in the control room with Johnny, while I'm doing the vocals for Greater Than Expected, and it's the first song that we recorded out of 3. And Rich is like telling me to change lyrics and stuff, and he's like, well, that doesn't make any sense to say this. But then in the same session, he also said, dude, you're a heavy metal singer. Nobody gives a fuck what you're saying. And also, dude, sing it like Dave from Megadeth. Sing it like Phil from Pantera. Like, why can't I sing it from like Joe from Think So Brain, other than the fact that I suck? You know what I mean? But like, so we to this day I call that a remix that's on the EP.
Yeah.
Because the lyrics, because we pretty much went back to the original lyrics.
Yeah.
With a few small changes based on suggestions from our time in the Music Lab with Rich Spalla. There's also a story about that when we were all downstairs. This is at Johnny and Danny and Rob all lived together downtown Niagara Falls in this apartment. They had the whole place, and the studio was up in the attic, and they were narrow, high stairs.
Okay.
That we had to bring all our gear up.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. But there's this story. We're all sitting around in the kitchen at this house. They were setting up for whatever, I don't remember, but we're sitting downstairs and we're talking about our former bass player, not the one that we mentioned earlier, but another former bass player, who used to be a roommate of mine. And I was telling this story about like when I bought like one of those tubs of like country crock butter, right?
Okay.
And the thing was gone in like a week. And I don't know how, right?
That's a lot of butter.
That is a lot of butter. I have no idea how it disappeared that fast, but it was gone. Huh?
Did he bake cookies?
No. I don't know what he did with this.
I made cookies We'll talk about that in a minute.
I don't know what he did with this tub of butter. Quite frankly, I don't want to know what he did with this tub of butter.
Use your imagination.
But it was gone. And we're sitting in Johnny's kitchen, and we're like, I'm telling this story, and Rich Spalla comes walking in like, are you guys talking about butter? Yeah, actually, and I like kind of reiterated the story, like, you guys have the lamest conversations, and walks out.
Why aren't you talking about pussy and beer? Oh, man.
Oh, we were trying to perpetuate that we're always drunk myth. We had that, we were calling ourselves Drink So Brain and stuff like that, like trying to get that
I just can't
going.
Picture that side of you. Like, obviously it's there somewhere.
Well, I mean, for the most part, you've known me I don't know if you've ever seen me actually drink.
I don't think I have.
I don't think I drank at the awards. I haven't drank any time that we've been out.
No. I've had a couple drinks.
Yeah.
But only a couple.
But I really only flat out quit drinking in like September.
Yeah.
Of last year. So it's almost a year since I stopped drinking. It was at the last beer that I had was at our September show at Good Bar last year.
Oh.
And then
was that the one that didn't go so great?
No, that one was our April show at Good Bar. That's pretty much any show upstairs at Good Bar, because nobody knows there's an upstairs at Good Bar, but that's besides the point.
They walk in looking for the show, they don't see a stage, they're like, what the fuck?
Did I tell you the story about nobody knowing the upstairs at Good Bar?
Yes.
So, I don't know, have I told it on the air?
Oh. No, I don't think you've told them. Not recently, anyway. So
we had this contest for Steel Panther tickets last year, which apparently we're not getting this year, so I'm going to actually have to spend the money to buy them. But don't go to Steel Panther, go to Corina's show. Anyway, and I will see you there later after Steel Panther. But anyway, I digress. So we were giving away Steel Panther tickets, and this girl won the tickets. And it was a girl I knew. And so she was like, where can I get the tickets? And this is the day before the Steel Panther show. So we're at Good Bar, and it was Scott was like, yeah, just we're at Good Bar, come by, I'll give you the tickets.
Right.
So as far as I knew, she got the tickets. Then I see her post on Facebook the next day. She says, oh, I really wish I could go to Steel Panther. I'm missing out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. By the way, this September Steel Panther show is the third time I'm seeing him in just over a year. Anyway,
I was gonna guess
in the
years.
same venue, by the way. About a year and a half. It was April I saw him first, and then I saw him again shortly thereafter with Stone Sour.
Right.
Not Stone Sour. Yeah, no, Stone Sour.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Stone Sour.
Because it's a weird lineup to me.
And then I'm going to see him again next month. But anyway, so I'm like, wait, I thought you won tickets. She said, oh, the guy never showed up. I said, you mean a Good Bar? She said, yeah. Okay, that's weird, because I was at Good Bar sitting right next to him.
Yeah.
Like, I can verify that he was at Good Bar. Turns out she was downstairs, he was upstairs, her phone died. And so she didn't have a way of contacting him to be like, hey, I'm here or anything. Mm-hmm. So she's looking for him, and she's not a hard girl to miss. So it's like she stands out in a crowd. Let's say that. So I didn't see her at all, and I knew her. But so I'm like, okay, so what you're saying, you didn't get these tickets? She said, no, and I'm bummed, and I really want to go. And I'm like, all right, cool, I'll get you the tickets. But that's a whole different story. The point being that nobody knows there's an upstairs at Good Bar.
Yeah.
Which is why they insist you put it on the flyers and on the tickets and everything, and and that's cool and all, but people don't know
maybe
there's an
put
upstairs
a sign
at
out
fucking
front.
Good Bar.
I don't know.
Live music upstairs. That's all you got to do. Yeah. So anyway, I got Mike Zagoria to. Oh,
he's such a nice guy.
I love Mike Zagoria. We got to play some of his music sometime.
Yeah.
Put that on the list for next week. We got Dennis's new stuff. We'll probably have new Yellow Sauce. We'll play some Mike Zagoria next week. Anyway, so I got Mike Zagoria to pick up the tickets for me. Nice. And I did not know Mike Zagoria at the time.
Just hoping he's a good dude. He's not going to screw everybody over. I
knew he was a musician. We were Facebook friends. I didn't know him personally. I had never met the guy. he had also won tickets and he was picking them up from Scott's. I said, dude, can you do me a solid? Pick up this girl's tickets for me. When you, because you're going there anyway, can you pick these tickets up for me and I'll meet you somewhere near the show and get the tickets from you. He said, yeah, sure, no problem. So Mike grabs these tickets. He also grabbed a couple of more, so we could give to like some friends of my buddy that went with me.
Oh, sweet.
So I was supposed to have a date that day, and
This is the story of your life.
that was always, and I'm looking around, I'm like, where the hell is this girl? Like, and apparently she never showed up. I don't know, or she was there and she left early and I saw her and I was like, and I knew who she was and I'm like, nah. Anyway, that's besides the point. Anyway, but that was out in like Amherst by like Tops on like Niagara Falls Boulevard and Robinson there, which is a pain in the ass to get to by a bus.
Oh gosh.
So I took the bus there. I was supposed to have lunch. So I ate lunch there and I come home and I'm texting this girl. I'm like, okay, I got your tickets. I will have them. You just go to the show. I'll have them for you. She said, oh, no, I'm tired. Like, okay, well, I'm going home right now and taking a nap. So by the time I get home and take a nap, you'll have like an hour before extra of a nap to get. So go home. So yeah, take a nap. Well, I need to charge my phone. Okay, charge your phone. I need to
take a fucking nap.
I need to charge my phone too. Charge your damn phone. Just meet me in like she took the bus everywhere. So I'm like, fuck, here's the bus I'm taking. You don't even have to take this one. Take the later one, and I will meet you at the show, and I will give you your tickets. And she ended up, like, just continuously making excuses, didn't go to the show. She was like, oh, I don't want to take a bus back that late, like, by myself. And I'm like, okay.
She wanted you to go home with her.
No, she didn't want me to go. She didn't want me to go home with her. I had to work anyway, but I was telling her, look, I have to go to the bus station after the show anyway because I got to catch a bus to work. So I will walk with you to the bus station. I will get you on the 40. You get yourself home.
Yeah.
And she wound up not going to this, what she called a once in a lifetime experience that she had free tickets for.
What an asshole.
But Mike Zagoria picked up the tickets for me.
Thanks, Mike.
I met him at the show, and what a nice guy he is.
He really is.
I'm really, I'm grateful I got to meet him. I would like to get to one of his shows eventually. I haven't yet.
He plays at some interesting places, it seems like.
Maybe he would do good on this September show we're looking for a band for. I think
you just took that thought out of my mind.
I might relay that message to the headlining band and see if they're interested.
Oh, that one.
Actually, you know what? I will. I'll talk to Mark and or Mike rather, and see what he wants to do. That's neither here nor there. Anyway, but yes, so that's that's the story. And of course, I went and I saw Steel Panther, and I had a really great time, and then I went to work.
And I was probably working the first time you saw Steel Panther.
You might have been.
I can't remember. I definitely worked at least one, if not two, Steel Panther shows at Rapids. And
then Brian got me into the second one.
Yeah, I didn't work that one.
I was at Rapids the day before, and I had the money in my pocket to buy my tickets. And Brian's like, no, I'll get you in, even if I have to sneak you in. And I'm like, I really don't want to jeopardize your job. You know what I mean? Like, this is how you're making your money. I don't want to jeopardize that.
Yeah.
He's like, no, don't worry about it. Like, I'll get you in. And so,
it's not that hard to sneak somebody in. You just have to use your head.
And then the very next morning, tickets are officially sold out for Stone Sour Steel Panther tonight. Like, oh, fuck. So Brian's like, I'm like getting on the bus. I'm like on the bus to Niagara Falls. I'm on the 40. I'm like, I don't know if I'm getting into this show, with a ticket. Like I'm taking Brian at his word that I'm getting into this show. I just don't know if I'm going to have a ticket or if I'm getting snuck into the show. So I did have a ticket waiting for me, thankfully, and I got to see Steel Panther for the second time. And I literally only wanted to go see Steel Panther and leave because I've seen Stone Sour. They've only had 2 hits that I like, and I've seen both of them performed live already. Steel Panther, on the other hand, like, oh man,
they're just a good show. Like, even if you know all the music, you've seen it all, it's not going to be the same show next time they come around.
I enjoyed what I saw of that show. I did bounce before Stone Sour, but I got to see the the Cherry Bombs, the burlesque group.
How was that?
That was very entertaining. It was very good.
Your eyes just lit up when you talked about it. You're cute.
You should have seen the look she gave me last week when I said I might go to the Hell's Harlots burlesque thing on this past Saturday. But then, but of course she was kidding. She don't give a fuck. Anyways, let's. I
don't give a fuck.
You don't give a fuck because you know I'm coming home to you. So.
Yep. That's right, ladies.
All right, so here's a band that was paying a lot of tribute to our fallen friend over the past few days. And they are very good friends of ours as well.
Yeah.
They're actually playing my birthday in November 10th at Mohawk Place.
Awesome.
Mark the date on your calendar. We haven't officially announced that one, but we've talked about it enough where you know the three bands that are already booked, which are, of course, the Kennedy Carpool, the Scarecrow Show, and Of Night and Light.
Not going to be one to miss.
No, certainly not.
That's a great lineup.
And if you're thinking, I could skip that. I know Of Night and Light. I've seen them a bunch of times, and I know the Scarecrow Show, and those kids are really good. But how many times can you see that guy, do his thing with the flippy bass and all that stuff? And, I don't really know the Kennedy Carpool. We're gonna solve that problem.
Yeah. I mean, if it was just Kennedy Carpool on the bill, I'd be like, dude, go to this.
I would also suggest that. And I've known the Kennedy Carpool for quite a while. And the first time I got to see them was at Food Not Bombs last year.
Yes, I scheduled them so that you could see them. I
begged you to put them on later so that I could get there and catch their set, and I got to. And I was so glad that I did, and I got to see them. I got to book them last year. We had them. I had them on something.
You had them on the anniversary, I want to say.
Oh yeah, that's right. The anniversary show this year. We had them at Mohawk Place.
Which was a killer show.
We also had them. You had them again at Food Not Bombs this year.
I did.
And we're gonna have them.
Very charitable guys.
I'm gonna get these guys to play Stamps one of these days, but we keep having them at Mohawk.
I feel like they would rock the house down.
They would. We're gonna have them at Mohawk Place November 10th. This is our last song of the evening, and we'll see you next week. This song called Pump Pump by the Kennedy Carpool on All WNY Radio. ThinkSoJoe Show.
What we pay for when Serve and protect your soul insane.